Generally, in the Western culture and from a scientific point of view, death is conceived as the end of life. However, both cultural and religious beliefs fervently believe that death only corresponds to a change in our state, and that consciousness remains intact, prolonging our existence in some way. Proof of this is in the incredible footage that you will see in this chapter, and that will surely surprise you. My name is Leonore Clay, and this is The Darkest Secret. Today we present Demonstrations of Life After Death. Number 6. We begin this investigation with disturbing footage of a tragic event. I received this footage from Juliano Rodriguez from Guanajuato, Mexico. He wrote to my email telling me about a terrible traffic accident that resulted in the unfortunate death of a newly married couple. They were hit by a drunk driver who was speeding. How unfortunate for that to happen. Sometimes life is terribly unfair. All those who passed by felt the impact of such a heartbreaking incident and recorded out of curiosity or simply because they were unaware of what happened without imagining that inadvertently, that night, an impossible image would be captured.
Es verde, güey. La del verde es gris, güey.
Did you notice anything? The presence of a woman dressed in white is clearly striking. Incredible as it sounds, her figure fits exactly with the woman who had lost her life moments before. It's as if this person were witnessing her own death. Could it be the spirit of the woman that is seen in the image? Tell me what you think. Number 5. Victor Manuel is the subscriber who confides in me that he is somewhat upset after seeing a strange situation that occurred moments after observing the collision of two vehicles. A few seconds passed after the accident, and while people were helping to rescue the injured, the dash cam installed in their vehicle recorded a rare anomaly that was seen on the windshield. Pay attention. Do you have any idea what this is? There are certainly many possibilities here. An insect, an orb, or simply a dust particle that landed there. However, beyond that, the way it moves reminds me a lot of the description that people give to the spirits that have just left a body. Because when these things happen in real life, you don't see a person in white waving goodbye. Instead, you notice someone like this, an amorphous figure that stays in place for a few moments before leaving. But of course, these are only the beliefs of the occult researchers. Do you think that this strange thing is related to the accident? Leave it in the comments. Number 4. They say that when the soul leaves unexpectedly or in suffering, it leaves a mark, just like an explosion leaves a mark on the ground. But when referring to someone's life, the mark that is left is so deep that sometimes we can have experiences with them. Saying this has brought to mind a terrible case that we touched on this channel some time ago. A case about the macabre discovery of 5 corpses, 2 of them minors, who were murdered in cold blood in their own home. I will leave the link in the description if you want to see the full video. They called it the House of Horror. It was during the same week that the bodies were found that the media began echoing the news, sending news teams to make live dispatch from the crime scene. It was during one of these broadcasts that hundreds of thousands of viewers were tuning in and witnessed at that moment a situation that never left their minds.
Mujeres y de las 2 criaturas.
Sí, este sería uno de los lugares donde estaban enterrados justamente los cuerpos de las mujeres, en este caso, Silvio, según las informaciones que también estamos manejando. Porque parte de otro de los cuerpos justamente también se presumía que se encontró en el fondo, hacia donde nos estamos dirigiendo en estos momentos, ya en el fondo de la casa también.
Ajá.
Porque parte de otro de los cuerpos justamente también se encontró en el fondo, hacia donde nos estamos dirigiendo en este momento. Otro de los cuerpos justamente también se encontró en el fondo, hacia donde nos estamos dirigiendo en este momento.
Among the words said by the reporter, it is clearly possible to capture heartbreaking cries of suffering, screams that, according to some, would correspond to the voices of the victims of this terrible crime, and that obviously disturbed all those who were watching. Screams that were left resounding like an echo in this house, as if their departure had been so terrifying and upsetting that the explosion of emotions left these walls marked forever. Undoubtedly, footage that deserves to be included in this video. Number 3. The following was sent by Jonathan, one of our subscribers who claims they have the most reliable proof of life after death, since he says that his house is being shared with a relative who no longer walks among us. In his email, Jonathan says that a relative of his died a week ago, and that coincidentally, since then, paranormal manifestations have taken over his home. Because of this, seeking solutions to this strange situation and guided by his religious belief, he installed an altar with images and crucifixes in a corner of his home. Although he suspects that these poltergeist phenomena are caused by that deceased family member, in his culture it is not accepted for the spirits to stay, so he's trying to get it out of his home at all costs. It is here that while sprinkling holy water around the home, that his camera would witness something absolutely mysterious.
Bueno, buenas noches a todos. Con respecto a lo que nos pasó hoy, vamos a tirar, nosotros tenemos un pequeño altarcito así, con un poquito de santos. Ahora lo que estoy haciendo, que dije que iba a hacer hoy, fui a buscar agua bendita, así que vamos a rociar. Ya rocié toda la casa con agua bendita, pero hay una parte acá que, no sé, me parece medio extraño. Pasamos la mano así por acá, para que vean que no hay nada. Ahora buscamos el rociador con agua bendita y miren lo que pasa. Ahí va. No hay nada, acá arriba no hay nada. Pero bueno, probamos otra vez, ya lo probé como 3 veces y no sé por qué, justamente esos papeles que están ahí, agarran y se levantan.
Our subscriber assures that he sprinkled practically his entire house with holy water, but that it was in this specific place where this inexplicable manifestation was present, just as you saw it. He even passes his hand as a demonstration, thus making it clear that it was not a manipulation. He assures us that what you have just seen is completely real. How could those papers move? Tell me what you think. Number 2. Footage like the one above makes it clear to us that there are times when the dead somehow try to keep in touch with us. That in some way they try to bring peace of mind to those close to them by letting them know that they are well and that although they are no longer in a physical form, they continue to exist. They can continue to manifest themselves if a feeling of affection asks for them. Do you remember this video? Well, this young man returned to his friend's grave annually and once again manifested himself at will.
Ya, Michel, contémosle que estamos más unidos que nunca, hermana mía. Ahora, cuando tú queráis, empieza. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 y gira, gira, gira. Gira, gira, gira. Pero quédate quieto, weón, no. Estoy seguro si estuviera viva, entonces sería la reina del tusi esta weón. ¿Sí o no? Dale, dale, dale. Gira, 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 gira. Gira. Gira, maraca. Gira, gira. Gira. No tanto. Ya nos vamos recargaditos de energía porque mi socia la vine a ver con el color preferido, que a ella le gustaba el azul. Despídete de la gente. Dale. Eso. Despídete de la gente, pero un poquitito más de viento. Bueno, pégate el show por último en mis redes, po. Es la Michelle que yo conozco, mi niña, te amo con todo mi corazón.
Could this be a friendship that crosses all barriers? What do you think of this recording? Leave it in the comments. Number 1. We conclude this investigation with a shocking clip recorded by Lalo Escalante, a famous Mexican YouTuber who, along with a friend and medium, dared to perform a ritual inside a cemetery and where supposedly disturbing cries of a girl managed to be heard at dawn. With this in mind, they arrived at the place with the mission of leaving a recording of everything that seemed strange to them, a video that ultimately ended up impacting thousands of his followers. Watch.
Mi amor. Ay, güey. Niña, ven. Mira, mira. Ay, no mames, güey. No mames, güey. Allá abajo, José. Uy, no mames, ahí está, la capté, güey. ¿No se escondió ahí? ¿No se escondió ahí?
No, mi amor, ¿dónde estás? Te acabo de ver, mi amor. Niña, ven.
No está la niña, güey.
Compartan la transmisión, amigos. Se está poniendo muy fuerte,
Ay, ay, güey, ¿dónde fue? ¿De dónde fue? ¿Dónde fue? ¿Dónde fue?
Clarita se escuchó la niña, amigos. Ay, Dios santo, mami, ese güey.
There is no doubt that this footage leaves your hair standing on end, because the situations and manifestations that the camera manages to capture really generate an impact. This recording, and as expected, provoked an avalanche of reactions that generated intense discussions about whether it was relevant to make these recordings in a place that clearly demonstrates the existence of people who have already departed from this world, and that in some way the rest of their mortal remains are being interrupted. What is your opinion on this impressive recording? Leave it in the comments, because this video has come to an end. My name is Leonore Clay, and this was The Darkest Secret.